If people who do not know anything about this
Yeah.
would ask you, but then what do you talk about? What would you say?
If someone doesn't know about this anything, I don't talk about this.
You don't talk.
No, doesn't come out. I used to try, but reaction is always kind of like a anger.
Yeah.
Anger come out, and then they just straight away I can see they don't want to hear this.
So why do you think people find this message so scary?
Scary. First of all, it just have no idea that it's shocking that nobody. Straight away I said nobody's here.
Yeah.
What is she saying? They think I'm stupid or crazy or something like that. So I don't know if they don't why they don't want to hear this. Maybe scared of out of control or without them or I have no idea.
No.
Because when I heard this first time, I was so excited.
Yeah. When
And
was
then
that?
that was 2005. I went to Boston to study macrobiotic,
Yeah.
and I met the guy just had an awakening, and he's just talking, and just the first time I heard something like a spiritual. I didn't know anything about spirituality, and wow, what he's talking about, I just fascinated.
And what was he pointing at that time?
At the time, one explanation I really remember is that he was a truck driver,
Yeah.
and he said, I suddenly realized that without thought, I was perfectly dry drew for 10 hours. That's
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And another thing is that, and I realized that point he started and where he got arrived was the same place.
Yeah.
And then it simultaneously arrived. That's what he suddenly realized. And he started to talk about there is no time. And he said everything's happening perfect moment, perfectly. And he said the phantom self. We are
Okay.
the phantom self. And I think he wrote the book Phantom Self or something like that. He's
Okay.
American.
Oh, nice.
But he suddenly disappeared. We had a connection with email and Facebook, but he disappeared from everything. So
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. And then when you first heard this message,
Mhm.
you were enthusiastic about it.
Yes.
And then what happened?
And because I was in Japan, oh no, after one week, so I didn't study macrobiotic. I was talking to him whole week in a conference, like a garden like this.
Yeah.
And after that, I went back to Japan, and for 6 months, I was speaking to him on the Skype,
Okay.
and he recommended Eckhart Tolle's book, and I started to read, and then someone else. I have a friend. She's been spirituality for 30 years, and she recommended Tony Person.
Okay. Hmm.
And we used the two of us for maybe 2 years. Every Sunday we had two of us just a meeting, talk about what Tony said, what someone said. Just talked about it because no information in Japan about non-duality that time, maybe 2005, 2006.
Okay.
And then after that, I flew to UK to see Tony several times. That was 2006, 2007. And then I start continuously going to meetings.
Okay. And did something change in your conditioning or behavior?
You know, then in that time I really didn't understand that what Tony was saying,
Yeah.
and only short time. Then not like now, you can get all information on YouTube or so many books and so many information. But that time I just went to see him and then come back, and I sometimes forget and going back to just non-duality,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
going to work and forget everything. Maybe forgot about didn't, and I started to yoga as well. So I just go into yoga that time. And then when I moved to France last 5 years ago, my friend, I almost didn't think about anything about non-duality that time, but my
Okay.
friend told me that the guy who called Rupert Spiders coming to Paris,
Mm-hmm.
so you should go. She asked me. That was one day before the talks. I
Okay.
just went because I was just very close. Then studied again.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And when you give, like, increase the talk yourself, what are you pointing at?
What I'm pointing at is this: what is happening, and when me is here, me is there. Since I was since I was child baby, I remember that I was surrounded by my parents, many friends and relatives, and so much love.
Hmm.
And I was so protected, but always felt the loneliness or something missing. And then that's become teenager, started to that something missing. It was always there in whole my life. I can tell now. That
Yeah.
time I didn't recognize it, but something was missing. I didn't realize what was it, and then I thought it's Japanese culture is wrong. So I started to travel many places, and because so I thought that this country didn't suit me. That's why. So I have to seek for somewhere to move. So I started to move around the different countries. But then I got tired of everything. I tried everything. Like that time, I wasn't really. Um, I didn't know about spirituality, so I was looking for somewhere. Try to change the condition, the place,
Yeah.
like where I live, or try to improve the condition of the life.
Mm-hmm.
But then realize that that's not it, never gonna happen. It just I felt like I was so tired of trying. Next moment, next moment. What I'm pointing at is that as long as you identify with your body, person, as soon as you think you're the body and I am here and the world outside, separation happens, and that means already contraction happening. That's already uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So as long as you have that, then you always seek. So, but then me, person can only seek the inner time and space. So you have to seek for future, next moment to do something or to get something, but never gonna find it because already still you're me here.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and it's not the problem, but that's the cause of the seek. So what I'm pointing at is that I somehow realized that everything's happening by itself and there is no control. No control at all. Me is just a only little tiny part of little thought. But then after that become like energetic because since we are child, we are told we are the body. But then after me is gone, so obvious that everything's happening already. It's
Yeah.
so obvious
Yeah.
and it's so simple. And what I'm pointing at is everything happening by itself. Me is not, it's happening but not really happening. And me is not at all necessary what everything's happening. Without me, everything's happening. So, how can I say?
But then, when people say, okay, then there's no me,
Uh-huh.
but then who are you?
That question also doesn't make sense. There, that that question doesn't make sense because already who are you means that you already some idea that someone's here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, no thing, no entity. Everything is there's everything and there's nothing. That means there is no second to look at this what is happening. There is only what is happening. What is. so
Yeah, it's so
so
simple.
yeah, I know. This
Yeah.
is so simple. But that means nobody can see this. nobody can see this, nobody can know this, nobody watch, nobody can aware, nobody knows this. It's impossible because everything's happening by itself.
Yeah.
So impossible to talk about this. But this is, when you realize this, it's just obvious. It's so simple.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. And still talking about it happens.
I know.
Even though it's silly.
I know.
Even though doing 100 interviews. So the words you speak are not it.
No, not at all. Some people ask me because the way I look, or the, I don't know, just the way I say. It doesn't. It's, if I look like a guru, then maybe people more like a more have more conviction what I say. But actually, that's this simpleness, because I wasn't really intellectual, so didn't read so many books, so wasn't really seeking in that, like following someone too much, or I didn't read Nisargadatta, or I don't know, just I didn't have anything like that. It just I knew
Yeah.
Tony Parsons.
Yeah.
So, and
But people maybe when they see a real guru with the beard and the right costume and the high chair, they might think there's something to get.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
for you, and also I'm just a blonde guy, you're just a cute Japanese girl. I mean, it's not really guru-like, is it?
But this is about, again, nothing to do with this, nothing
No.
to do with anything, because everything and nothing. That means, how come that on appearance of everything, one appearance can say anything? Only appearance.
Yeah.
All guru's appearance, they're empty.
Yeah. Everything is empty.
Everything's empty.
Yeah.
And how come the appearance can give the advice? People are asking me sometimes, what do you think, that what is your advice? How can I give the advice? I mean, like, this is happening by itself. I don't know anything.
But people who suffer a lot, you also said you were searching around the whole
Yeah.
globe trying to
Yeah.
find the answers.
But then I have to say, this is all story.
It is all story,
Yeah.
yeah. Everything we say is story anyway.
Yeah.
but people who suffer come to these talks,
Yeah.
and maybe they try to get something.
Yeah.
But are they gonna get something?
No. No, but then another thing is that this is funny. I really don't see someone's suffering. Every I don't see it. People say there's a suffering. I can't. I mean, I can't.
What is
say
suffering, you think?
Suffering is suffering is the contracted feeling, identification with yourself, because then contracted.
Hmm.
Then because me is always that, always already that's in contracted feeling, separation feels very uncomfortable. Because maybe most of the people, apparent people, don't realize this, but since I was baby, this is my mom told me, I was such a nervous baby. I was like almost like a scared, just a baby. But you can see that the little baby is so frightening.
Yeah.
Since I was born like that, so I was really sensitive. So sensitive to, maybe that's why I kind of knew that this separation was already suffering.
Yeah.
No.
So when you realized that there was no one inside Neo,
That's funny.
yeah, this loneliness you felt before, or this emptiness, did that change?
You're gone. It's gone. Because this is like just a pointing up, because this is impossible to talk about. But this is how I explain, it's just a pointing up. But whenever you are, always this. But the way I say is you are, but without you.
Yeah.
So always this, without you. So You don't need to go anywhere. It's just this without without you, and no separation. And it's just that from the moment, everything is love. The sensation, everything, whole world is love.
So,
Then, but still life continues. But there's no
so you're saying maybe like this is love happening.
um yeah, love
Yeah,
happening.
life or love happening. Life is love.
Yeah, love, yeah.
And in the Advaita it says this is not two.
Mhm.
Um, there are several teachers who use words for this oneness. Have
Mhm.
you got a specific word you often use?
I prefer everything and nothing because oneness sounds like a for here it's like a round one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like a limited, but this is endless, endless. It's impossible to know, no limitation. So prefer everything and nothing, and simultaneously everything and nothing.
Yeah,
This is again impossible to understand.
because we think always think that we are something. Huh?
Yeah. So as long as you, this is a game that's an energetic thing. You this eventually that the position also doesn't position also falls away. But then as long as you're here, then you're just looking out, and always positioned here like a limited with your body. Then you feel like you are moving around
Yeah.
everywhere. You have to go somewhere. Then see, look out. Then uh, always you prefer somewhere else. You
Something better.
something better because me only can see through the veil of me. But actually, that it's not you, but everything is life without you. Then it's everything's love, almost like in love, almost like a surrounded by love. It's this is words, so it doesn't really make sense, and also it's not really correct, but it's totally we're in love.
Yeah. So there's no one looking through your eyes.
No,
But then, could you say what is looking through these eyes?
nobody, and also nobody, nothing's looking at through eyes is already concept assumption.
Hmm.
I don't know, but just even I don't know if it's looking. Even I don't say that. It's just this,
Yeah.
just what it's happening. Even no looking. Looking also seems to be like someone's looking, being looked. Even that also disappear.
Yeah.
I can only say this.
This. Yeah, because everything that we put on top of this is another concept.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
that.
even this
Even
is the concept
that.
itself, but therefore it's
Even that.
impossible to describe
Impossible to
this.
describe. Oh, really, this is impossible to describe because everything, nothing can be away from this to look at. It's just everything and nothing.
Yeah,
Very, very simple. But we try to understand through the concept and
yeah,
through the intellectual. It's impossible.
yeah,
And then nothing to do with it.
yeah. So, is there a world?
World,
Is there a world that we live in?
I just that people say that the world because again maybe world means like it depends on someone's interpretation. To
Yeah.
me world is like I was Japanese so world outside like a different country or something
Ah,
like
okay.
that. And also in English and Japanese, so like interpretation, there is no world, there is just this.
Hmm.
Always this, because there is no time and space, and you are not there. Just this. Even how can I say you are not there? You mean like as individual person is not there.
No.
So I only can say everything and nothing. Yeah.
So many concepts then change, like death, reincarnation,
Oh yeah,
karma.
oh yeah, yeah. Because I practiced yoga before that,
Yeah.
so that reincarnation karma is really strong in yoga field.
Okay.
And still I still teach yoga, so people talk about it, but I just don't know, and also
Because
no interest.
people, even the I, wants to look for something better, even in the life hereafter. Because
Yeah,
when I reincarnate, then
yeah. I just this for here personal happiness is no interest, no longer interested in it, because that's the problem. As long as you're looking for the your personal happiness, never gonna get out the suffering of the contraction, because you feel that the person. That's I say the problem, nothing's problem, because everything's happening perfectly, and also that's a seemingly suffering's happening, but it's not happening,
yeah,
because that's an
it's only happening in thoughts. You think?
yeah, it's even it happening in, even doesn't say in the thoughts. Maybe apparently suffering's appearing, but it's really not happening. It just maybe um, life is like life will become apparent suffering and then appearing,
Hmm.
but no one in there. It just can I say it's just the suffering.
Yeah, suffering happening,
Suffering happening, but
seemingly. Yeah,
seemingly
yeah.
even I don't see it. I say I, but it's not Naho. I don't
But
know why.
when people may come up to you with a terrible story, like I lost someone or I am sick or whatever,
Yeah,
uh, do you feel still empathy for someone?
yeah, yeah, but then no strong belief in it. The moment I naturally uh, naturally say something, but then there is no belief, and also their life is happening perfectly, and also there's because I don't see anyone, so the person saying doesn't, it's not suffering any, that's not, they're not suffering, it's just life is happening, so it's just the perfect,
Yeah,
that suffering also perfect, nothing is personal. Even pain happens, that's also just the pain. If you identify with your pain and someone's looking at the pain, then becomes suffering. But just the pain, and just everything's not personal and everything's not separate.
yeah. Because most people think it's my pain.
Yeah,
They also think it's my fault, maybe,
yeah,
and I have to do something to get rid of that.
yeah. And also that if someone asks me the advice or something,
Yeah,
and give if I give advice back, then I'm supporting that story.
yeah,
And first of all, to think first of all, I don't really believe any story. And the secondly, supporting the person, it means the cause of the suffering is person, and supporting that.
yeah.
That also, that's not really interest here. So, and also everything's happening perfectly, and I don't really see a problem.
So, um, do feelings of um, fear or sadness still arise?
Yeah, everything arises, but just sadness, just fear, and that also love. Everything is so, how can I explain this? So intimate and so close, and that's because I remember I tried to be so close to my mom, but it's too distant, two bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
But that this is total, just the intimacy with everything,
Total intimacy with everything. That's beautiful.
everything. Yeah, but it sounds like I have intimacy, but
Hmm.
it's not. There is only intimacy. It's a strange, very strange.
But for a lot of people, these questions often come up in talk. They say, okay, this is life happening, but then they say, but you see it through these eyes and I see it through these eyes. How
Yeah,
would you respond to that?
that's the. I don't see it because I don't. It's I don't see it. It's just this. What is happening is left. When me falls away, only left is what is happening. Nobody is seeing. Seeing takes place. Seeing takes position. I am here, you are there. That's already two position. The
Yeah,
two separation.
yeah.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not what I'm talking about. What is happening? Me, what is happening is everything, nothing. There is no position.
I totally agree on that, but now I'm gonna play the devil for a while. Because then they say yes, but when a bee is sticking you, then you feel the pain. Huh? So how would you respond to that? Da-da-da.
No, actually, there is only pain.
There's only pain.
Yeah.
Okay, but then still okay, but then there is
Then
pain.
I
Yeah,
naturally I say I got pain and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But then that's the pain.
But
Only
then they
pain.
would say, okay, but then maybe there's no you inside,
Yeah.
but then it's that body in which there is pain.
Yeah, body has a strong pain.
Yeah.
But that body also imagination.
Yeah. Okay.
So then only pain left
Yeah.
in nothingness.
Yeah.
Everything come out
And even
nothingness.
pain is the
Yeah.
imagination. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels so real,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the aliveness. Everything's so alive.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
seems so real. I mean,
Yes, it's
yeah,
so real.
it is really as if there are two people sitting on chairs, and it's as if. You know? Yeah.
This is a total mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery, yeah.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Another thing, me dynamic, me wants to know everything. Me wants to know. And then me wants to hold on to something. And then me wants to get something.
Yeah.
But actually, me has no control. Me has no power at all. Everything happening by itself. That's so strange. Me think that when you believe that me, but I don't even see that in someone's me. I see that me is like a dynamic happening.
Yeah.
It seemingly happening to someone's body, but actually I just see as a dynamic. I don't really see someone's pain or someone's me.
Okay.
I just see as a dynamic.
And you don't use the word consciousness?
Not at all. What is consciousness? I don't know.
No, we don't know. But like say Walter Keers, he was the first teacher who actually brought this Advaita to Holland.
Ah.
He spoke a lot about awareness,
Ah.
and he would say that there's awareness happening now, because there is awareness of, let's say, the grass or words or sounds, but that there's no person in this awareness.
Yeah.
So he would say awareness is just happening.
Right. And maybe that's the only different word they use. Maybe we are talking about the same thing, but for here, the awareness means like something aware in something.
Mm-hmm.
That means object has to be exist. Aware object and awareness. So already two.
Yeah, true.
So it's really different from like someone's seeing it. And also I think a lot of people stuck with like an awakening. If you say that's in total liberation and awakening, if you talk about differentiated, because awakening is like a lot of different kind of experiences. I think people stuck in like aware in something without thoughts, like trying to aware what's happening or nothing's here or try to look at.
Yeah.
But still that's me dynamic. Me try to know something and me try to aware something. But then already that's two. It's not comfortable.
Yes, but I think it's just concepts we use then, but then Walter Keers would probably say, yes, but there's still the awareness of that then there is a you trying to be aware.
Yeah.
You know? It's always it's maybe just everything and nothing is a more clear approach,
Yes,
because then there's really nothing to grasp.
yeah,
I remember Buddha would say everything is the unborn, of the unmanifested, because
yes,
if you
yes,
approach it in a negative way,
yes,
you can't grasp the unmanifested. It's
yeah,
like that's why Advaita is the not two and not
yeah,
the one.
yeah,
That's so clever. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And then this is seemingly happening, but nothing's happening because come from nothing.
yeah. It all comes from
So
nothing.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's so mysterious.